Okay, we're going to use Adobe Illustrator to create vector art drawings of these 5 famous logos: the CBS logo, ABC, Westinghouse, Mercedes-Benz, and Adidas. I placed bitmap versions of these logos in an Illustrator document, and we'll use those as a tracing template and draw our new versions on top of them. So the first thing I want to do is double-click on Layer 1 in the Layers window and dim images to 50% and lock that layer. Click OK. And now those bitmapped images are gray, and it'll be easier to see what I'm doing as I draw on top of them. And also the layer is locked so that I won't accidentally grab the bitmap versions and move them as I'm drawing. Now I'll create a second layer. In the Layers window, I'll click on the Create New Layer button, and this is where I'll create the new artwork. So let's start with the CBS logo. Zoom in. And this logo is very simple. It's really just a circle on the outside, this eye shape knocked out of the circle, and then another black circle on the inside. So let's start by drawing the outside circle. I'll grab the ellipse tool from the toolbar, and starting in the center of that logo, I'll click and drag outward, holding down the Shift and Option keys. The Shift key will constrain that shape to a perfect circle, and the Option key lets me draw from the center. So when I've got it at about the right size, actually let me bring that down just a little bit, so it's lined up on top of the template. I'll use the Scale tool to duplicate that circle and reduce it in size. With the Scale tool selected, I click in the center and drag inward, holding down the Shift and Option keys until my new copy sits right on top. The Shift key constrains the proportions so it's the same as the original, and the Option key creates a duplicate as I drag. So now I have my second circle. Now I just need to create the eye shape in the center. To do that, I'm going to select the outer circle and drag it downward, holding down the Shift and Option keys. Now the Shift key will constrain the movement so that it's a perfect vertical, and the Option key creates a copy. And I'll line that up right on that upper arc in the eye shape. And then I'll grab the same circle and drag it upward. Again, the Shift and Option keys held down until it lines up with that lower arc in the eye shape. Now selecting both of those new circles, I'll use the Pathfinder tool. The third button in that top row is the Intersect option. I'll click that, and that will leave me with only the area where the two circles overlapped, and that will create that eye shape. Now before I add color, I'll grab all 3 of those shapes I've created and use the Align tool to make sure that they're aligned along the vertical axis and along the horizontal axis. Now I can select the inner circle and give it a black fill, and I'll give it no stroke. The outer circle, I will give a black fill and no stroke. And then I'll select the eye shape and the outer circle and use the Pathfinder tool. This time we'll use the minus front button, and that will knock out that eye shape from the background circle. And now we've created the CBS logo.